Welcome to the Food Science Snob. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Food Science Snob. Happy Friday, happy Valentine's Day. In honor of the spirit of the day, I thought I'd keep this episode short and sweet. Now, this myth may not be as groundbreaking as some of the others that I've probably done on the show, but nonetheless, it's a food myth, so let's get snobby. White chocolate is not really chocolate, y'all. It literally shouldn't even be called chocolate. It's basically just candy. So what is white chocolate? And no, I'm not talking about the little white spots that form on your regular milk or dark chocolate when you've had it for too long. Please don't tell me you guys are still out there eating Halloween candy. It's literally a whole new year. It's time to stop. But that white stuff that you see on those kinds of chocolates is actually called chocolate bloom, and it's a chemical process, and it does not mean that your chocolate is moldy or has gone bad at all. So there are two types of these blooms. One is a sugar bloom and the other a fat bloom. Sugar blooms happen when the moisture from the air comes in contact with the chocolate, and it'll dissolve the sugar crystals on the surface, leaving behind a white powdery look. And then a fat bloom occurs due to improper storing conditions, like leaving chocolate in your car and then putting it in the fridge and having it reform back together. These dramatic changes in temperature will actually leave a powdery white gray appearance on the bar and actually change the texture to where it's soft and you won't get that nice snap sound that you usually get when you bite into a candy bar. So yeah, those are blooms and they're not harmful to your health. So if you want to eat that really old candy that you have laying around, go ahead. It's not going to harm you, but it's just basically a loss in the quality. All right, on to the juicy information. So now, what actually is white chocolate? Well, the process of making chocolate begins with cacao beans, or nibs. They are harvested from trees and then aged. The nibs contain both cocoa solids and cocoa butter to make the milk chocolate we know and love, especially me. Both of these cocoa solids and the cocoa butter are combined with sugar and milk to make the milk chocolate. White chocolate, on the other hand, only uses the fatty parts of the nib, the cocoa butter. There are no cocoa solids. It's just a blend of sugar, cocoa butter, milk products, vanilla, and a fatty substance to help with thickening called lecithin. So the fact that this white chocolate doesn't contain any of the chocolate solids, aka the cocoa powder, is why it has its white or whitish yellow color, as opposed to dark or milk chocolate. Actually, in 2014, the FDA established a standard of identity for white chocolate, setting up minimum percentage of cocoa butter, milk solids, and milk fat, and a maximum allowance of sweeteners. Now, you may be wondering, doesn't the cocoa butter count as chocolate? Isn't it considered chocolate because it has cocoa butter? And the answer to that is no. Cocoa butter is derived from cocoa beans, or the nibs, as mentioned previously, but it doesn't have the solids that define chocolate. Here's how it works. When cacao beans are harvested, they're extracted from the pods and then put through a very lengthy process that contains fermenting, drying, roasting, opening, and shelling. Inside of that shell is where the chocolate nib lives, which then gets ground into a paste to form chocolate liqueur. The liqueur then gets divided into the cacao solids, which are responsible for the flavor and chocolatey brown color, and the cacao butter, which is just fat without much flavor in it. So since it has no solids, the characteristic flavor compounds found in chocolate, like phenolacetic acid, furfuryl alcohol, dimethyl sulfide, 2-methyloxy-4-methylphenol, and 1-methylene phenolphthaleol, as well as 300 others of these really complicated, complex compound names are absent. Also are absent are a long list of other really complicated chemical names that I'm not going to try to butcher that are responsible for giving the pleasure effects found in chocolate. So there you go. If the legal definition of white chocolate, which contains no solids, was not enough to convince you that white chocolate is not, there's the scientific proof that they are not the same. So basically, all of this is to say that while it's true that the primary ingredients in white chocolate are derived from cacao beans, which makes it a pretty close relative to dark or milk chocolate, it is not considered chocolate. because it doesn't contain those cacao solids that define the chocolatey flavor and color. Consider this myth slid. Even though white chocolate may not technically be chocolate, it sure is still delicious, and I will definitely be eating some, hopefully, later today, along with a bunch of chocolate-covered strawberries. So that's it for this episode. Bye!